What's up, guys? Eli here, back for another new stuff video. I have some really cool stuff to show. Probably won't have a whole ton in the near future. I'm kind of curbing my spending just a little bit. I mean, I haven't been doing too bad, but yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. CDs, t-shirts, lots of metal goodies. Anyways, let's get started. All right, so you noticed I'm in some sort of a vehicle. Yes, you're right. I'm in my work vehicle, actually. I hope there's not too much background sound. I picked a kind of a quiet spot. I just wanted to I don't know, do something relaxing, you know, on my break at work. I don't know if I'd say I'm under a lot of stress lately, but I am under stress, but I'm under a lot of mostly just anger. I'm so mad lately. I don't know. I don't even really know how to describe it. Anyways, you're not here for that. So to begin, I think I'll just start with, I got a couple t-shirts. One I'll show actually in a little bit. This one I'll show first. I got this sweet Cannibal Corpse shirt. I love Cannibal Corpse, so I used to have two Cannibal Corpse shirts, and when I did like a t-shirt purge, you know, many years back, and actually got rid of both my Cannibal Corpse shirts, and I don't know why. I actually really missed them, so I saw that one out in the wild, and I snagged it. Super glad to have a Cannibal Corpse shirt back in my collection. I also picked up this at Walmart, of all places. I mean, I guess it's not that weird to find this at Walmart, but I got the Somewhere in Time Eddie Pop. I've shown Pops on this channel. I'm not a massive collector of them. I think if you were to collect Pops, it would just be ridiculous. I mean, there's a zillion of them, but I do collect like the ones that I think are really cool. I probably have around 10. So they made a bunch of Iron Maiden ones. Well, they made at least 4. This one I just grabbed randomly. I mean, Somewhere in Time is one of my favorite Iron Maiden albums. As you can see, they got the Live After Death Eddie, Seventh Son, and Knights of the Dead. So this one is from, kind of odd that they made this one. This is from a somewhat recent tour. I think it's from the Live in Mexico City or something like that. I have the album. That wouldn't be my first choice to make if I were to make some Eddies. I don't know if I'd make that one. I'd make the rest first, but maybe they did make the other ones first. I'm not really sure, but he turned out pretty good. $11, well spent, I think. You're like, no, not why? Not well spent, but yeah, okay. In my opinion, well spent. So next, I guess we'll get on to the CDs. I got 3 Devin Townsend albums. If you've been paying attention, I've been talking a little bit about Devin Townsend lately. I was kind of a latecomer to his work. I've been aware of his work for a long time. I never really liked Strapping Young Lad, to be honest. I saw them live one time and they were pretty cool. Never really got into Strapping Young Lad, but pretty much all his other stuff I think is phenomenal. I heard the Ziltoid album back in 2007 when it came out, and I thought it was pretty cool, but I kind of just quickly forgot about it. Now I love it. We're going to start with 1997's Ocean Machine. So Ocean Machine was technically, if I have read correctly, was supposed to technically be a band. But it's hard to say. I could be wrong about that because the Ocean Machine album, Biomech actually it's called, this has been released under several different Devin Townsend monikers. So I could be wrong. This is a 2000 repress on Inside Out Records, which has been Devin's label for like 20 years now, I think. This album is phenomenal. I have a funny story to tell real quick about it. If you listen to Devin's podcast, you've already heard the story, maybe. So this album is great. I think he should have been a star based on this album. This album should have just, back in 97, should have rocketed him right into superstardom. And why it didn't, I don't know. So he was shopping this around to different labels. He had some big labels. He had Roadrunner was interested, a few others I can't remember, but anyways, Roadrunner. So he met with Monty Connor. I don't have a lot of good to say about Monty Connor, by the way. I don't like I think he's a poser. Maybe he's a nice guy. I don't know. I think he's a poser when it comes to metal. But anyways, met up with Monty Connor. Monty Connor was really good to him, actually. He was like, we want to sign you, blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you this deal. And then I guess like 2 weeks go by and he hears nothing I think Devin had made calls or something like that. Just silence from Roadrunner. Finally, Monty Connor, gives him a call back, and he's like, "Hey, I know I offered you a deal and everything. I flew you to New York to talk, but the owner of the label absolutely hated the album. He said he will not. He refuses to honor the deal that we made. He has the final say, and I'm really sorry, but we can't sign you." And Devin was like, "All right, oh, that's fine." And then so he. But while they're talking, and then Monty goes, the owner wants to go with stuff that's selling really well for us right now, which is Typo Negative. And this is awesome. I like Typo Negative. Devin probably does too, I imagine, but I can't speak for him. Anyways, he goes, "That's funny because I have a project I'm working on right now that sounds exactly like Typo Negative. Can I send it to you?" And Monty goes, "Yeah, sure. Maybe this will persuade the owner. Maybe this will patch everything up." And so Devin goes, "Can I use your FedEx account? I want to get this to you quickly." Monty's like, "Sure." So I guess Devin gets like the biggest box he can find, puts nothing in it. There's no demo in there or anything. He just puts a picture of himself, of his own asshole in there, signed something like signed "fuck you" or something like that to Monty and whatever the owner's name was, and just shipped it to him on their dime. I thought that was hilarious. He said Monty and him are friends to this day, though. He said, it wasn't really Monty's fault. But anyways, back to the album. This is so good. Just, if you like 90s, I don't know what to really call it. If you like Devin's work, first of all, definitely check it out if you haven't. But if you like 90s kind of industrial tinged metal, definitely look into it. At least just look at the debut track, Seventh Wave. Is just such a killer song. One of my favorite songs on here. Perfect way to open the album. If you want a deep, really, really deep cut, though, go check out The Death of Music. I think it's a 10 or 11 minute song, and it is one of the most brilliant pieces of music I've ever heard. Yeah, I'm going there. That's where I'm going to leave it. This album is so good. I mean, this is probably, I haven't spent much time with it. I've only had it a couple weeks. I think this is headed for a 10 out of 10, and I don't say that for more than just a handful of albums. So, Ocean Machine, Biomech, you need to at least hear this. And then one of my other favorite Devin Townsend albums, probably my number 2, we have 2007's Ziltoid, The Omniscient. This is a 2012 repress on, of course, Inside Out Music. This is a concept album, of course, but it's like a rock opera. I love how the CD just looks like the looking down on a cup of coffee. This is a rock opera concept album, and it's phenomenal. There's a lot going on this. It's very, it's progressive. It's not overly progressive or anything, but so Devin wrote and performed everything on this. There's a drum machine. There's no human drums. The drum machine sounds fine. A human drummer would have sounded better, but the drum machine does kind of suit the sci-fi aesthetics. I will say. The only thing Devin doesn't perform on this is like certain voices and stuff, because there's different characters, and he could have done it. He's a very talented voice guy, but he just wanted some of his friends. I don't even know if they're musicians, just some of his friends. I think local friends at the time. He just wanted them to do voices just for fun, maybe so they wouldn't all sound like him. So there's different characters here. It's just a really fun album to listen to. Definitely just check out. It's kind of an intro track, but it's kind of a song on its own. Just check out ZTO. It's the very first song on this, and if that doesn't sell you, man, I don't know what will. Because that sometimes I'll just go back and re-listen to that. It's awesome. And then the last Devin album I'll have today. I pretty much just bought this just to support the dude. I probably didn't really need this. It was sitting at my local record store. We have one of 2021's live albums. I say one of them because I think he had multiple. We have the Galactic Quarantine. This is a what would you call it? This is one of the COVID live albums. This is, the whole band, they were all in different cities. They recorded this on whatever. whatever the whatever programs. It's pretty cool. I've listened to it. I haven't watched the DVD yet, but I really want to. So I think the songs, I'm still not an expert on all of Devin's stuff. I think the songs are just kind of a compilation of songs over his career. Like there's some Strapping Young Lad songs on here. There's some Devin Townsend songs, kind of a combination. Starts off with a strapping song. It's pretty cool. I probably didn't need to own this, but maybe the DVD will be enjoyable. Like I said, I just wanted to support the dude. I didn't buy any of those COVID live albums. Not that there's anything at all wrong with buying them, or even anything at all wrong with the bands putting them out. They had to do something. You know, I actually kind of wish I had bought more of them, but I didn't. I don't know, but I have one now, and it's a pretty cool listen. All right, moving on to other stuff. We got some death metal here. The next 3 releases are actually 2022 new releases. We got Vonnet 4th with Seething Malevolence, Century Media Records. This is one of the bands poached from the Maggot Stomp label. They put out this band's earlier stuff, and big labels like Century Media do what they do, and you know, vulture fucking bands from smaller labels. So we'll see how that works out for them. I don't blame the band, of course. I mean, when you're offered a better, bigger deal, I mean, it's hard to say no, you know. Haven't listened to it yet. In fact, I haven't even heard their older stuff, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. I just remember hearing good things, you know, from back before this album, and saw it in my local store. Thought I'd give it a shot. Same with this one, although I have heard this band in the past. I was never honestly a real big fan, but I bought it anyways just because it's a cool looking release. We got the a 6th full-length album from Dublin's Abaddon Incarnate. They formed in 1994. They're one of the oldest Irish extreme metal bands that are still around. They started off kind of a death black type band. They're more of a grindcore band now, and I'm not a huge grind guy. This came out on Transcending Obscurity, as I said before, a very good label out of India. You know, I love the care and attention they put into their physical product. I mean, this is a digipack, but it's really nice. And, you know, the other album I have from them is a digipack as well, and it's also super nice. So just the fact that they go the extra mile. And there's cool stuff here. I mean, just for being a regular CD release. Incredibly nice digipack, but it also comes with a logo sticker, a label logo sticker, a bunch of Bandcamp promo codes. Maybe I'll give these to some of you guys. I don't know if I need them. I actually don't need them because I get all promos already from Transcending Obscurity. So maybe I'll give those away. And they also give you this. I've never seen anyone do this before. Instead of hand numbering the CD itself, they give you this hand numbered card. I think that's really cool. Haven't listened to the album yet. You guys, if anyone's heard it, you can let me know, but I'll get around to it. Then the last new release I got is Belgour with The Devils. I've been listening to this band a long time. This is their 12th full-length album. They formed in 1992 in Austria, of course. So their last 4, 5, 6 albums have been hit and miss for me, I'll admit. But I will say their last one, Totem Ritual, I really liked. I think that was by far their strongest album in years. So I was kind of like, all right, you know, I'm kind of... It's not that I lost interest in Belgour. I just kind of was thinking that they're a band that was kind of petering out. And with that album, they, you know, I don't know if I'd say they sounded rejuvenated. They just went back to more of a sound that I like. The album or two before that were a little bit more melodic, and that one just comes out the gate with like this fucking Morbid Angel riffs and just heavy death metal. And I've heard one song from this already, and I really dug it. It's a slower song, which was cool. Hearing them play a little slower. Usually they're a pretty fast band, but not always. They're not a band afraid to, you know, mess around with tempos and stuff. So. I'm a massive Fates Warning fan. You might know that. I got this The View From Here DVD. This has some live clips, which is cool because I've never got to see them live. I was supposed to see them one time and it didn't work out. Then it also has a bunch of their music videos, maybe all of their music videos, at least up until 2003 when this was released. So Metal Blade Records. This should be fun. I don't think I've ever seen a Fates Warning music video. So I saw this in a local store, and I was like, yes. Yeah, I love Fates Warning are one of my favorite bands. I would not buy something like this from just any band that I liked. But for Fates Warning, I'll pretty much buy anything they put their name on. So I'm a sucker like that. Then I've got the most 3 recent releases from Graveworm. As you know, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the dude behind the music. And I'd fallen behind. He puts out releases at least one per year. Sometimes he puts them out in pairs. So, I fell behind, for the last year and a half or so. So what do we have here? We have the Sorcerer's Lair from 2021. These are all self-released on his own Funeral Empire record label. Limited to 100 copies. At least this one is. I think the next few are as well. I have not listened to any of these yet, although I've been listening to a lot of Graveworm lately. Then we got the In the Forest of Lurking Evil from 2022. I love this one. I love the presentation on this one. Very old school black metal, which, if you've heard Graveworm, it suits the band, of course. And his other 2022 release, we have Emissary of Darkness. Cool cover there. Like I said, I'm assuming these are all limited to 100. I can't really say for sure. This jewel case got broken in the mail. Shit happens. I don't care much about that. Then we have if you watched my recent live stream from a couple weeks back, I hate to bring that up every 5 seconds, but I really, really liked it. Lord Necron of Ahad, Thornspawn, and Pius Levis was on with me, and I realized I had heard Pius Levis, but I had not had any of the Pius Levis stuff. So I got this cool t-shirt. I believe he has more available if anyone wants one. Logo on the front and the cool art on the back. If you've heard their first album, or if you know what it looks like, you'll recognize that demon guy because he is from the cover. The cover of the 2014 debut full-length Beast of the Phallus Depths. Not only is the cover art awesome, it's cool that he makes an appearance on that shirt. So I've heard this before. I heard this back when it came out, and I thought it was pretty sick. Black death metal. Very nasty, very Texas style. I get a little bit of old school Australian, vibes from this band, Beast of Warlust and stuff like that, which is funny because I think the cover art on their 2019 EP kind of shows a little bit of a tribute to that band, Bolt of Satanic Might. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like the cover art here is kind of a little bit of a tribute to Bestial Warlust. That last album came out on Warfare Noise Productions, by the way. This came out on Goat Throne Records, their most recent release. So check out Pius Levis if you want anything from the band. I think you probably send a message to Lord Necron. I'm pretty sure he still has stuff, so yeah. And last but not least, we have, from 2022, we have Bloyster Colt Live in America. I picked this up randomly. I was like, do I need another Bloyster Colt live album? First of all, the Renaissance Records, not a label I'm familiar with. Maybe they're huge. I don't know. They did a fantastic job here. I mean, the layout is so killer. I bought it just on the strength of my love for Bloyster Colt. But I read the inside, and this made it so much more worth buying. And by the way, I've listened to it. I listened to it last night, and it's a killer live album. This might be my favorite live album from the band. So, I'll just give you this. So, with the release of 1981's Fire of Unknown Origin, it appeared as though Bloyster Colt was entering a new commercial and stylistic phase as the album spawned a popular radio hit, Burnin' For You. However, this would prove not to be the case, as the ensuing tour would be the last time, save for a short-lived reunion a few years later, that the classic Bloom, Dharma, Lanier, Al Bouchard, Joe Bouchard BOC lineup would tour together. The set of recording from these concert shows that the group was still quite a live force, circa their 1981 tour, especially at a hometown stop in New York. Expectedly, quite a few then recent numbers turned up in their set, the aforementioned Burnin' For You, as well as Joan Crawford and the title track. But still, several classics find their way into the set, including Godzilla, Hot Rails to Hell, their US breakthrough Don't Fear the Reaper, and even a pair of covers, Born to Be Wild and Roadhouse Blues. The set of live recordings is from September 8th, 1981, from Madison Square Garden in New York. It's great. So like I said, what makes it special is you know, the lineup, you know, the classic lineup. And by the way, check this out. I want a t-shirt with this artwork on it. But anyways, that's all I got, guys. Fantastic live album. Definitely check it out. It's worth your $13. As always, thanks for stopping by. I got more cool stuff in the works. We'll talk soon. Cheers.